Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fun Fold Friday. So glad you're able to join me tonight, either live or on the replay. Make sure you shout out so I know you are joining me, either on the replay or live, so I can give you a shout out back. Tonight, I am going to be sharing with you a fun fold using the Soft Seedlings stamp set. I just love this set. It just is a stamp set. There's no bundle with it or set of dies or punches. And it just has some very simple images. This beautiful maple leaf and the seeds. It has 4 sentiments in it. Thinking of you, so grateful for you, and hello. And the font is really, really pretty, so I really like it. I'm also going to be using tonight from the Color and Contour set, I'm going to be using the dotted background. So I'm using that as well with this card. So what are we going to make tonight? We are going to make a double fold, fun fold. And so this is the card we're going to be making. And this is the double fold where we've got 1 fold, 2 folds. And that takes us to the inside of the card. So let me show you what we need for materials and the different sizes. So let me grab that, the cardstock first. So first of all, you're going to need 2 pieces of soft succulent cardstock. So this first piece is 8 1/4 by 4 3/4. Excuse me, 4 1/4. I apologize for that. It's scored at 2 3/4. The second piece of soft succulent is a piece that is 6 3/4 by 3 3/8, and then it's scored here in the middle at 3 3/8. You're going to need some Very Vanilla cardstock. The first is a 1/4 sheet of Very Vanilla that I've put through the timber embossing folder. And then you're going to also need a 3 by 3 square. You're going to need a piece that you can cut the largest circle from the styled shape dies. So that. And you're also going to need a piece that is 2 1/2 by 4 inches. And then for the Designer Series paper tonight, I am using the Textured Chick Designer Series paper. It's really pretty. It has all these gold designs. So on one side, you have paper that has a gold design to it. And then on the other side, you have kind of a textured look. So we're going to be using a piece that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 with the gold facing up, and then a strip of the same paper, again with the gold side up, that is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. And then I'm using a piece of the textured side instead of the gold side. And this measures 3 7/8 by 2 3/8. So that's all set for us. I'm using also, going to decorate with the red and green adhesive back pearls. They're red and the green. The green really matches the soft subtles really nice, but it also has silver and gold, and we're going to be using the gold. I also have a non-Stampin' Up! Product. This is an 18 karat gold leafing pen, and so I'm going to use this to just add some little highlights to the card and pull out that gold. I'm also going to be using some daubers to do some daubing on the stamp. So let me just put that here. And then for inks tonight, I'm going to be using Soft Succulent, which matches the Designer Series paper and the cardstock we're using. And all these colors match the Designer Series paper. Evening Evergreen, Petal Pink, and Blushing Bride. So those are all the inks. So let's start by just doing some folding and putting the outside of the card together. So the first thing that you need to know when you're doing this type of card is that this smaller piece of cardstock is going to open to the right instead of to the left. So just make sure you have that on the right side. This piece here, we are going to be having the 2 3/4 piece over to the left side so that it can open towards the left. All right, so first things first, this strip of designer series paper is going to be going on to the piece that I embossed with the timber embossing folder. So let me just grab my stamp and seal. You can put this anywhere you want. This piece here is going to be centered on this piece of cardstock. So this can go towards the bottom where it pokes out at either side. It can go up a little bit. It can go in the middle. You can have it wherever you want. I put mine about a 1/2 inch above the bottom. There we go. And then this piece is going to go right inside our card base. So I'm just going to layer that on so the borders are even. There we go. This piece here is going to go on to this. Sorry about my phone beeping. This piece is going to go on to the very vanilla cardstock. And I just have a little bit of a border sticking out. And this piece is going to go on to the front of the card. There we go. And this piece is going to get this piece of designer series paper on the front. And you can decide which way you want those designs to go. And I think I like it like this. So again, we just have a little bit of a border all around. And then I'm going to center this onto the inside onto that piece of very vanilla. And I'm putting quite a bit of tape on it just because it's going to be opening and closed a lot. So I'm going to center this. And before I push it down, just want to make sure that is going to work well. So it looks straight. There we go. So all of the folding and adhering is done. So I'm going to just set that aside. And we're going to talk about stamping on our 2 pieces. So I'm going to start with the soft succulent ink. And I am only going to try to stamp my, ink up my leaf on this. And I'm going to do that hopefully pretty light. It's okay that I got some on the seedling part. This stamp is a distinctive stamp. And what I mean by that is it, when you ink it up, you're going to see how it inks up with, you're going to see different amounts of ink in different places because that's what the distinctive does. Now, what I want to do here is I really want to get some pink. I want to bring in the colors of the designer series paper. So, of course, this is going to get some, I'm doing this just in one corner of my ink pad so I can clean it if I need to. But I really want to get some of this pink onto my leaf. Okay, there's that side. So I'm just using my dauber. It is taking up some of that soft succulent ink, so that's why I'm in the corner trying to get some of the ink off, so when I put it back in my pink, my Blushing Bride ink pad that I'm not going to get the green in it. And this is the kind of thing you're not going to know, did I get enough of that pink on or not, until the time comes. Okay, so we're done with that one. And then I'm going to take my Petal Pink, and I am going to be adding the Petal Pink to the seedling part. So I'm just daubing some ink on. We're going to get a little green on it in a minute. So there's that. And now with my Evergreen, I'm going to kind of go right up the middle. So I'm going to daub in my stems. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit of green on the bottom of that part. And then I'm going to go right up the middle. There we go. And let's see how it came out. It'll be a surprise. I need to huff on it. And then I'm going to line that up on my circle. Press to release some of that ink. And there we go. We've got some pink there, some of the green, and some pink on that too. All right, so now the next step is I'm going to clean that stamp because I want to stamp this image with the image of the leaf part on the inside of my card. So I'm going to clean the stamp first. There we go. I'm only going to worry about the leaf right now. So I'm going to take my soft succulent ink and just ink up the top of the leaf. I'm going to go with my Blushing Bride, which was this one, and add some again to the sides. Add a little bit of, don't need the Petal Pink because we're not doing the leaves in this. And just add a little bit of the Evergreen. And I'm going to huff again. And I'm just going to put that right on the right bottom corner. There we go. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And I am going to close up two of my ink pads. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my little splatter stamp and I'm going to stamp off of it, and then I'm going to stamp around my leaf here. It's okay if I get some of those dots on. I'm going to do the same thing here, but stamping off and on. We don't want it full strength, so kind of a second generation stamp. So let me clean that because I'm going to go to pink next. Just close my soft succulent, and we're going to go back to the Blushing Bride, and I'm going to do the same thing just add a little pink there, And then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside piece. There we go. Now, Stampin' Up! Used to sell a gold ink pad. If you have that gold ink pad, you could do this technique right with the gold ink pad in the stamp. But I'm going to take my gold leafing pen and I'm just going to leave some dots. This is a calligraphy tip, so I'm just using the very edge of it. And just leaving a few dots here and there. I might even have a couple dots on the leaf. And you probably can't see it on camera, but when I turn this, I can see the flecks of gold. So I'm going to do the same here with this and just leave some gold just to tie it in with the gold paper. Okay, there we go. So again, I'm not sure that you can actually see that, but I can see all the little gold dots. All right, let's put the put this together, and let me get my twine and my. So I am just going to use my adhesive, my Stampin' Seal, and put this on the oops, the wrong one. Put this on the inside of my card. There we go. I'm going to use dimensionals and put this on the front of my card. So let's just get some of those. All right, we'll just put this to the side a little bit. There we go. And now what I want to do is, this is from the basic twine package. It has black twine, white twine, vanilla twine, some gray twine. So it has, you know, lots of our basic colors. And I'm just going to use this to make a double bow. And so I just double up the twine. I keep it, I don't cut anything yet. And I adjust the size right here on, while it's still on the spool. I find that way I don't end up with a lot of, as much waste as if I didn't do it that way. Then I'm just going to take a pair of my fabric scissors and trim it. So you can see I ended up with just this little piece. There might be one other this size of twine, and that way I just don't waste it. So I have this here. I'm going to get a glue dot. Well, here it is. It's like finding my little tools here. I'm going to put this right on one of the stems there. And there's our bow. And now let's put on some gold, a little bit of bling. I found this card on Pinterest, and it was, I'm trying to remember, it was made by Robbie Chandler. So this card isn't an original idea of mine, but I've switched it up a little bit, not much. She didn't use bling on hers, and she used a different ribbon. I thought that ribbon was just a bit too big, and so I decided to do it different. If I had some gold twine, I might have made my ribbon a piece of the ivory with the gold twine, or I would have just used gold, I think. But I've added the three of the gold pearls, the little adhesive back pearls. I like how the leaf kind of blends into the background with that pink that was added to it. I think it's just such a pretty card. So again, someone named Robbie Chandler designed this, and I found the original idea on Pinterest. So this is our double fold. Here's fold number 1, fold number 2. That's where we get our double fold from. I hope you enjoyed tonight's fun fold, and I look forward to having you join me either on the replay for this one, or join me next week for the next fun fold Friday that we're going to do. And I think from this point on, we're going to be focusing on Christmas when it comes to fun folds. Though I do have some soft seedling cards that I am going to be putting on as my cards of the day through the end of November. So look forward to seeing those. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're from so I know where you're watching from. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.